On our world's climate crisis, and it's having a profound impact on our environment. From rising sea levels to coral bleaching, those are some of the impacts that a Miami artist is highlighting in his work, hoping to bring attention, to raise awareness about certain impacts, urgent impacts that we're dealing with, Kelly.
And joining us right now to talk more about that is artist Morel Doucet. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it. So first of all, how did you even decide to focus your artwork on climate change?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I've been working with the issue because as an artist living in Miami, I've been experiencing, firsthand the changing oceans right before my eyes.
I got to tell you, we're looking at some of your stuff. It is beautiful. It really is beautiful. And, we've been talking about coral bleaching. That's been a pretty common topic for us. What are some of the other ways that your work really brings attention to issues with climate change?
So I would describe my work as a double-edged sword. I lure the viewer with beauty while enticing them with information that is relevant and contemporary to the lives that are happening every day. And so when people see my work, the work is in ceramic, which has a really deep-rooted history as part of our human evolution. Ceramic, it holds a unique place where it has the same monetary value as gold. And so I use porcelain ceramic to elevate topics of nature in our environment and kind of brings it to the same level that is very urgent.
It's very intricate, very beautiful, really good job on your pieces there. I know your artwork goes beyond highlighting the overall climate crisis. In some cases, you actually highlight different policies that you believe should be implemented. How so?
Absolutely. So with my work, I use a lot of scientific data because, we live in a generation where people don't read. And so as an artist, I take that information that's very dense and I try to disseminate it through imagery. And then through the imagery, hopefully it becomes into effective policies that goes to the state level and ultimately can create change.
I'm telling you, I am watching looking at your work. It is spectacular. It is really incredible. Tell us how looking at some of your art, how it's also how it addresses the issue with climate change, specifically impacting communities of color. Can you talk about that for a moment?
Absolutely. So right now, I'm working on a body of work that is titled Water Grieves in the 6 Shades of Death. So I'm using water as this allegory to talk about the gentrification happening here in South Florida, and more specifically, Black and brown communities. And so I go into these communities and I gather the flora and fauna in these neighborhoods. And ultimately, I create these ecological portraits of the residents in these neighborhoods. And so for me, this entire body of work is a ecological footprint, a ecological mapping of South Florida. And these neighborhoods are changing. It's not a matter of if, it's when, and ultimately the pushing of climate is one factor. And then there's another layer where the developers are moving in as well.
Morel Doucet, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your beautiful artwork with us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Well, we go from